ओम श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः। ओम श्री महासरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ओम शरदिन्दुसमाकारे परब्रह्मस्वरूपिणि वासरापीठनिलये सरस्वति नमोऽस्तुते। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः।
Okay, 25th श्लोकम्. इयं च नलिनी रम्या द्विज संघ निषेविता. देवनागरिలో ఒక చిన్న చేంజ్ కరెక్షన్ తర్వాత చూస్తాం. ఇమాం సా రామ महिषी न्यूनम एष्यति जानकी. न्यूनमेष्यति जानकी. इयं च नलिनी रम्या.
इयं च नलिनी रम्या. इयं च नलिनी रम्या.
द्विजसङ्घनिषेविता.
द्विजसङ्घनिषेविता. द्विजसङ्घनिषेविता.
इमां सा राममहिषी.
इमां सा राममहिषी. इमां सा राममहिषी.
न्यूनमेष्यति जानकी.
न्यूनमेष्यति जानकी. न्यूनमेष्यति जानकी.
इयं च नलिनी रम्या द्विजसङ्घनिषेविता.
इयं च नलिनी रम्या द्विजसङ्घनिषेविता. इयं च नलिनी रम्या द्विजसङ्घनिषेविता.
इमां सा राममहिषी नूनमेष्यति जानकी.
इमां सा राममहिषी नूनमेष्यति जानकी. इमां सा राममहिषी नूनमेष्यति जानकी.
Let us listen to the meaning.
Yes, sir. Now, in what context this shloka is prepared by Sage Valmiki? Lord Hanuman, he has searched for Sita Devi everywhere. First round he has completed. He could not locate. Second round he completed. Then also he could not complete. He could not find her. Then final round. In that actually, ultimately, he came to such a situation. Certainly Sita Devi must be here only, in this area only. That is the confidence he got. His search is a total. His search for Sita Devi is complete. But she is not seen. It is a very beautiful place. He got into a great park called as Ashokavanam. There few very interesting things are there. Golden colored trees are there. Several trees with several varieties of fruits are there. In addition to all, he found a great lake also. That lake is having golden steps also. Not only golden, with gems also the steps were prepared. Very beautiful lake. Everybody, whoever just goes through that area, will find it very interesting to enter down through the steps, go into the river or a lake and take a bath or do some worship of the Sanjhakara. All these things he is expecting. Normally that is such a beautiful lake. So then ultimately he is thinking, after seeing that lake, he says, Iyancha Nalini Ramya Dvijasangha Nishevita. Now this Iyam means this particular lake. There actually it is Nalini Ramya, it is very beautiful with the lotus. Several lotus flowers are there. It is full of lotus, full of lotus flowers. Just looking at that pond itself, anybody will be enamored. And then Dvija Sangha Nisheda, it's not just the flowers alone. All varieties of birds, they are flocking there. They are making their own sounds. Actually, you can see Dvija Sangha Nishevita. Dvija means one meaning is Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishya. Another meaning is birds. And Sangha means a flock of birds. They are all Nishevita. That place is taken as a residence for all these birds. Such a beautiful, interesting place. For this place, definitely Rama Mahishi, the consort of Sri Rama, that is Sita Devi, Nonam Yeshyati, certainly she will come here. Rama Mahishi Janaki, Sita Devi, who is the consort of Sri Rama, definitely she will come here to take bath or to do some sanyavandana or some puja there in the river or lake, whatever you may call it. That is here. What actually for what purpose this is taken? Actually, he was trying for her, but could not locate. So he was going to depression. First time, second time he went into depression, deep depression. Ultimate to the extent of committing a suicide also. But he did not leave it. Again he made a final attempt. Chaturangola matropi, every square inch. But beyond all these things, what he had done before starting this third round of search, he prayed to all the gods. More than all, he prayed to Lord Sri Rama. Namostu Ramaya Salakshmanaya Devyai Chatasyai Janakatmajayai Namostu Rudrendra Yamanilebhyo Namostu Chandrarka Marudgan. He is having such a confidence in all the gods he uttered that definitely they are going to help him. So this is the only place which was left out previously for searching. Now that also he is completing. Now he prayed before starting this search. So he is certain to get the result. That result is nothing but locating Sita Devi. He has not yet seen, but at the same time, definitely is confident of her. This is the type of mindset we should have. When we prepare thoroughly for the exams, not even a single page is left out without reading, then you can be certain of answering any question, whatever they may give in the exams. At that time, actually, you can think of how Hanuman has got this idea. So also I am going to get the answers which I can definitely answer. So that is most confidence creating shloka is this one. This is very essential for anybody. Okay? Please remember, in critical times, we should never lose confidence, just like Hanuman. And ultimately succeeded. Next, immediately, we will be finding her actually. Thank you, sir. Next.
Okay, so we'll quickly chant the whole shloka. So remember that whole the meaning in mind. Okay. Iyanchanalini Ramya Dvija Sangha Nishevita Imam Sarama Mahishi Nunameshyati Janaki.
Iyanjanalini Ramya Vijasankhansevitam Imam Sarama Mahishi Nunameshyati Janaki. Iyanjanalini Ramya Vijasankhansevitam Imam Sarama Mahishi Nunameshyati Janaki.
We'll go to the next shloka. Tam Samikshya Vishalakshim Rajaputrim Aninditam Tarkayamasa Siteti Karanaihi Upapadibhihi. Okay. Tan Samikshya Vishalakshim
Tam Samikshya Vishalakshim Rajaputrim
राजपुत्रीमनिन्दिताम्
राजपुत्रीमनिन्दिताम् राजपुत्रीमनिन्दिताम्
तर्कयामास सीतेति
तर्कयामास सीतेति तर्कयामास सीतेति
कारणैरुपपादिभिः
कारणैरुपपादिभिः कारणैरुपपादिभिः
2 parts together. तां समीक्ष्य विशालाक्षीं राजपुत्रीमनिन्दिताम्
तां समीक्ष्य विशालाक्षीं राजपुत्रीमनिन्दितां तां समीक्ष्य विशालाक्षीं राजपुत्रीमनिन्दिताम्
तर्कयामास सीतेति कारणैरुपपादिभिः
तर्कयामास सीतेति कारणैरुपपादिभिः तर्कयामास सीतेति कारणैरुपपादिभिः
Yeah. Now, Hanuman has located. He has seen her. Actually, it is better to say she appeared. He has not seen. She appeared. There is a lot of difference. So here what he says is, once she appeared, he has seen her. As he was expecting, exactly in the same way, she was sitting somewhere near the pond. Just on the same tree he was sitting, looking around. One after the other places, he is just looking at it. Ultimately, he got that lady Sita Devi. Then what he has done? Is he immediately jumping at the conclusion that she is Sita Devi? No. He started putting all his logic, whether she is Sita Devi or not. Then what must be the characteristics that he has already given in the 11th Sarga, 2nd shloka? What must be the features with which Sita Devi must be having in the Ashokavana? That shloka also just I will read out. Na ramena viyukta sa swaptum arhati bhamini na bhoktum na pyalankartum na panam upasevitum. He has taken 4 points. Nanyam naramupasthatum suranam apicheswaram. That is, there are 4 points now. One is Sita Devi, in the absence of Sri Rama, she will not go for sleep at all. That is one condition. Normally in the night time, particularly at between 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock early morning, everybody will be in the deep sleep. But he was thinking, no, Sita Devi should not go to sleep. Now actually this lady, whom he has seen, she is not sleeping. So the first point, what he thought, is completely satisfied. Second point, na bhoktum. She will not be eating also in the absence of Rama. She has become very weak. Very weak. She is conducting upavasas for several days together, several months together. Only just for survival, whatever critical amount is required, only that much she is eating. So yes, she is very weak. She is very thin. She has become very much thin. Actually, she is not able to sustain her body fully. So second point also is there. Napi alankartum. She will not decorate herself. She will not have ornaments. Yes, this lady also is not having ornaments. Then fourth point, napanam upasevitam. She will not, normally in those days, everybody was drinking. Here, that lady, in the absence of Sri Rama, she will not go for drinks. Yes, this lady also is not having any drink bottles are not there nearby. So she must be not drinking at all. 3 points. Then is there any other person on her side? Nanyam naramupasthatum suranam apicheswaram. Even if Lord Indra comes, she will not sit by his side. She will not allow him to sit by her side. Now actually she is alone. Nobody is there. on her side. So, getting all these points logically analyzed by Hanuman, he concluded, because that lady whom he has seen now just now, she is weeping, sitting alone. She is very thin. That is, she must be not eating anything, and she is not having any drinks. So all these things, and then she is in a meditative mood. By all these things, he thought that she must be Sita Devi only. Okay, now you can see, Tam Samikshya Vishalakshim. Vishalakshi means that lady whose eyes are very wide. This description was given to Hanuman and other Vanasena members by Sri Rama. How she must be appearing? Actually, Hanuman has seen Sita Devi before coming to Lanka, when she dropped the jewels from the sky when Ravana was taking away. But that happened about 10 months back. And he was not intentionally looking. So here, Vishalakshim, Rajaputrim, she is the daughter of an emperor, not ordinary lady. That majesty is still appearing in Sita Devi, even if she is alone, even if she is weeping, even if she is not having sleep. Even then she is having that majesty of a royal family member. And then Anindita, nobody can point out at her character in the absence of any witness actually. Anindita, she cannot be blamed by anybody, because Hanuman himself has seen in what conditions Sita Devi is staying. Now he says, yeah, no question of blaming her by anybody. So like that, Karanaihi Upapadibhihi, with the available data, with the available reasons, he tarkayamasa. He, in the analytical way, he posed all the data, and then he analyzed it. Thoroughly he analyzed it. And then he says, Siteti, yes, she must be Sita only. Like that, actually, when we get some new item, this ultimately how it is useful to us. When you find out in your lifetime, when you are asked to search for something which you have not seen earlier clearly, but you are forced to find out, then you have to have an analytical thinking. That is very essential. The course, actually, the present course what we are organizing is ultimately to imbibe this kind of thoughts in your brain, to educate you, to bring up culture in your thoughts. And we have famous examples. Hanuman is the best example for thinking. So take Hanuman, whenever you have any critical problem, think of Hanuman, how he has behaved. Immediately you start working in that direction. You will be successful. And ultimately you will be able to conclude. This is actually most important shloka in Sundarakanda. Yes, to arrive at the final result and then conclude it. Okay? Please remember and get by heart this shloka also for next class. Very nice.
Yeah, we'll chant this shloka once again. Tan samikshya vishalakshim rajaputrim aninditam tarkayamasa siteti karanairupapadibhihi.
तां समीक्ष्य विशालाक्षीं राजपुत्रीमनिन्दितां तर्कयामास सीतेति कारणैरुपपादिभिः तां समीक्ष्य विशालाक्षीं राजपुत्रीमनिन्दितां तर्कयामास सीतेति कारणैरुपपादिभिः.
Very nice. So now you present me that Narayana Namaskritya. If you have that, is it possible? Okay, sir. Yeah. Now this week we will have another important prayer shloka. Please recite. Sir, one of you, sir, me recitation parallelism.
Sure, okay.
Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam namaskritya
Naranchaiva Narottamam
नरञ्चैव नरोत्तमम्
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
Tato Jayamudirayet
ततो जयमुदीरयेत् ततो जयमुदीरयेत्
Book once more. Narayanam namaskritya
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
naram chaiva narottamam
नरं चैव नरोत्तमम्
devim saraswatim vyasam
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
tato jayamudirayet.
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्
The importance of this shloka, we know Mahabharata is a great book written by sage Vedavyasa. This is the first shloka of the first page. The prayer of that Mahabharata started with this shloka. There is one important word is there here. Several important words are there, but another important word, Vedic mathematics word also is there. That word is Jaya. Please note it. Jaya is a Vedic mathematics term. I will explain. Now here whom actually says Vedavyasa is praying. First of all, he says, Narayanam Namaskritya. That is, I am offering my namaskaras to Lord Sriman Narayana. Why he said Narayana? Why not Vishnu? There is a slight difference. Narayana means he is Nirvikara Parabrahma. He is a supreme God. Guru Sakshat Parabrahma. Other word of Narayana is Sakshat Parabrahma. Okay, that is Nirguna Parabrahma. Narayana means Nirguna Parabrahma. And Sri Krishna is the Saguna Brahma. He is Avatara Purusha. Narayanam Namaskritya. So he is making a namaskar directly to Nirvikara Swarupa and also directly to Sri Krishna also. This word Narayana indicates both the meanings simultaneously. Then second one, Naranchaiva Narottamam. Another great human being is there in the times of Mahabharata. Who is that great human being? Human being is Nara. Uttamam is great human being. Who must be that? Can it be Dharmaraja or Karna? No. Nara. Arjuna. Nara is another word for Arjuna. Naranchaiva Narottamam. I am making my namaskar to Nara also. How is that Vedavyasa will make a namaskar to Nara Arjuna? Here actually there is a small story is there. There are Lord Sri Mahavishnu wanted to appear on this land, Mahabharata Desha. Then he came in two forms. One is Narayana Rishi, another is Nara Rishi. So they are called as Nara and Narayana. Both are sages. Nara and Narayana are the ancient sages of this land. From Nara, actually Arjuna, he has got his birth with the blessings of Nara. And Krishna, Sri Krishna, is an avatar of Narayana. So the human being form, Arjuna and Sri Krishna, they are the descendants of Nara and Narayana. First of all, Sage Vedavyasa is making the namaskaras to Narayana and then to Nara. That is one important thing. The ancient sages. Nobody can defeat. One important feature of these two sages is they do meditation, they do penance, they do tapas, but at the same time they go for fighting also. Nobody can defeat them once they are in the battlefield, Nara and Narayana. So actually the book what he is going to write is a story of Nara and Narayana in the human form. That he has indicated clearly in the first sentence, first two charanas of Mahabharata itself. Then for writing any book, we should have the grace of Saraswati Devi. So immediately he is making a namaskar to Saraswati also. Devim Saraswatim. So Saraswati Devi also is making a namaskaram. Then Vyasam. Why is that sage Vyada Vyasa will make a namaskar to Vyada Vyasa? Here is Vyasa is nothing but a post, just like President of America or Prime Minister of India or President of India, like that. So that post will be filled up with great people. So this particular Vyasa, his original name is Krishnadvaipayana. So this Krishnadvaipayana is making a namaskar to Vyada Vyasa also. That way we can interpret it. And then after making namaskar to all the most important people, because of Vyasa only Dhritarashtra and Panduraja came into existence. Because of Panduraja only Pandavas came into existence. Because of Dhritarashtra only Kauravas came into existence. So Vyada Vyasa is a root. Is a root for the origination of Pandavas and Kauravas. And because of them only the great story has built up. And he is author. So he knows everything. Ultimately, he is first-hand information he is having. So then he says, Tato Jaya Mudirayet. Here, Jaya means normally, the meaning, Jaya, 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 like that, we can have one meaning. Second meaning is, Jaya means Mahabharata. The word Jaya, the meaning is, its original meaning is Mahabharata. This is second meaning. Then third meaning is there, Vedic mathematics meaning is there. You know what it is? It is 18. Yeah, Srikruti is saying.
18.
Yes, Jaya stands for 18. Now this great book Mahabharata is moving around the number 18. This book will have 18 parvas. And then there are, Bhagavad Gita is there. It is going to have 18 chapters. And Mahabharata war is there. It was held for 18 days. And the total army from both the sides put together, that is 18 Akshohinis. So like that, this 18, the symbol 18, Jaya, is most important. That is going to be told now. So this is the first shloka of Mahabharata. Similarly, another important, this word Jaya is found in two more contexts, very important places. Another important is the first shloka of Bhagavad Gita also, the word Jaya comes. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamakah pandavaschaiva kima kurvata samjaya. Okay, you found that Sanjaya is the word. Normally we may be misread. As if it is referring to the person Sanjaya. No, the letters Ja and Ya were incorporated, they embedded there. They carry that meaning. Third important shloka is there. You have already got by heart. I know it. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhutihi. You found it? So these are the three important contexts in Mahabharata. The word Jaya is written. This information is given by Kanchi Paramacharya, Sri 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 Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Swamiji, several decades back, relating to Vedic mathematics. So very important shloka. Everybody should get by heart this shloka and the other two shlokas of Bhagavad Gita also. Okay, this is good. Sir, next.
We'll go to the Ashatam.
Yeah, now let us go to this shloka related to Vedic mathematics from Ramayana. Yeah, now you remember. Just a minute, sir.
We did the Shanku and we have to go to the. We also did the Mahashanku.
Yeah, sir. Yes.
So now we are at the Vrinda.
Yes, sir.
Vrinda also completed Padma
Padma కూడా అయిపోయిందా అవలేదా
శతం పద్మం విహోచ్యతే వరకు చెప్తాను.
శతం పద్మ వచ్చింది అయిందండి. అంటే 3 శ్లోకాలు అయ్యాయి. 4వ శ్లోకం అండి. శతం పద్మ సహస్రాణం మొట్టమొదటి ఒకసారి పైనుంచి చదువుతాను నేను. మొట్టమొదటి చదువుతాను ఒకసారి, మీరు చూపించగలరా సార్? వస్తుందా? ఎక్సలెంట్ సార్. శతం శత అందరు మీరు కూడా అనుకోండి ఒకసారి. శతం శతస మొట్టమొదటి నుంచి చెప్తున్నాను. ఐఎమ్ రీడింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ ది ఫస్ట్ శ్లోక ఆన్వర్డ్స్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ వేదిక్ మ్యాథమెటిక్స్ దట్ ఈస్ ఇన్కార్పొరేటెడ్ ఇన్ వాల్మీకి రామాయణ. శతం శతసహస్రాణం కోటిమాహుర్మనీషిణః శతం కోటిసహస్రాణం శంకురిత్యభిధీయతే. There we told you there are, that is 100,000s will constitute 1 laksha, and 100 lakshas will be called as 1 koti, and 1 lakh kotis will be called as shanku. Then shatam shanku sahasranam mahashankuriti smurtah. Like that, 1 lakh shankus will be called as mahashanku. Mahashanku sahasranam shatam Urundamihochate. Like that, 1 lakh Mahashankus will be called as Urunda. Then Shatam Urundasa, this shloka. Shratam Urundasa Hasra. I think this is the shloka we have to get by heart today, sir. Is it? And this also is over.
Finish it. Go to the next one.
I point the speaker, is it over previously?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shratam Urundasa Hasranam Mahavrundamiti Smrutam Mahavrunda Sahasranam Shatam Padmamihochyate. 1 lakh Vrundas is called as Mahavrunda, and 1 lakh Mahavrundas is called as 1 Padma. This Padma is not lotus. It is a name of a number. Please remember it. Padma means name of a number. Now you tell me what is the size of that number. 1 followed by how many zeros is Padma now? Who can tell me? Who can tell me? I also will calculate. Yes, please, Swikriti.
32 zeros.
Huh?
32 zeros.
32 zeros. That is Padma. Excellent. Excellent. Next, we are going to the next shloka. Shatam Padma Sahasranam Mahapadmamiti Smrutam. మీరు ఒకసారి చెప్పండి, ఎవరైనా ఒకసారి చెప్పండి. శతం పద్మ ఇదేదో శతం పద్మ సహస్రాణం
శతం పద్మ సహస్రాణం
మహాపద్మమితి స్మృతం
మహాపద్మమితి స్మృతం
మహాపద్మ సహస్రాణం
మహాపద్మ సహస్రాణం
శతం ఖర్వమిహోచ్యతే
శతం ఖర్వమిమోచ్యతే మిహోచ్యతే శతం ఖర్వమిమోచ్యతే
శతం పద్మ సహస్రాణం
శతం పద్మ సహస్రాణం శతం పద్మ సహస్రాణం
మహాపద్మమితి స్మృతం
మహాపద్మమితి స్మృతం మహాపద్మమితి స్మృతం
మహాపద్మ సహస్రాణం
మహాపద్మ సహస్రాణం మహాపద్మ సహస్రాణం
శతం ఖర్వమిహోచ్యతే
శతం ఖర్వమిహోచ్యతే శతం ఖర్వమిహోచ్యతే.
Now you see, Padma is nothing but a number 1 followed by 32 zeros. Now 1 lakh such Padmas will be called as Mahapadma. Then you tell me how many zeros will be there after 1 for Mahapadma. Every time you have to add 5 zeros. 32 zeros previously for Padma means, Mahapadma means 32 plus 5, 37. Correct. Several people are answering me. Excellent. Very good. Very good. Chatting. Several people are answering. Very nice. Yeah, everywhere 30 was 37 only. Nobody is making any wrong number. Excellent. 37 zeros. Then I will ask you another question. Please get ready. Mahapadma Sahasra. Karva means another 1 lakh Mahapadmas will be called as Karva. 1 lakh Mahapadmas means, Karva means, how many that Mahakarva? 42. Now my question is, how many crores are there in this 10 to the power of 42? How do you arrive at it? How to find? You tell me.
ఆరు
Huh? 6 crores, huh?
6 crores.
ఆగండి అమ్మా, మీరు చెప్పకండి అమ్మా, మీరు చెప్పకండి, నేను చెప్తా సరదా. Now you see, I want to get 1 followed by 42 zeros. Then how many crores? Is it 6 crores or 7 crores or 8 crores or crores? What is that? 42 crores. Wrong. 42 zeros. Unmute me, sir. Sir, Kartikeya Kalaga wants to answer. Kartikeya Kalaga. Yes, you tell me. చెప్పగలవమ్మా?
Yes, sir.
Have you got? దొరికాడా సార్?
You are unmuted, Kartikeya.
Hello.
How many
You have an
crores?
answer?
6 crores?
Anybody can answer?
1 crore equals to 7 zeros.
Yes, one followed by 7 zeros. One followed
Yes,
by,
sir.
yes.
10 power 42 equals to 6 crores.
6 crores.
Yes.
6 crores means, no. 6 followed by 7 zeros only. 6 crores means 6.
600
Yes, sir.
crores.
No,
600 crores.
no, no,
60 crores.
no.
6,000 crores.
Oh, you are all wrong. Definitely. I caught you. Rajeshwari, welcome to 6. No. What is that 6? 34 crores. Wrong. Here you come to Vedic mathematics. You see,
100 కోట్లు 100 కోట్లు 100 కోట్లు 100 కోట్లు 100 కోట్లు 100 కోట్ల కోట్లు.
ఏంటో చెప్పండి, చెప్పనా? 6 times you have to say కోటి. కోటి కోట్ల 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 కోట్లు. That is 10 to the power 42. Because that 42 divided by 7, you will get 6. Is it not? 10 to the power, that is 10 to the power 7 into 10 to the power 7 into 10 to the power 7, like that 6 times you have to say. So 10 to the power 7 is 1 crore. So కోటి కోట్ల 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 కోట్లు చెప్పాలి. Ultimately 6 times you have to say. Repeat it. Now you tell me. చెప్పు కలగా. Tell me.
కోట్ల కోట్ల కోట్ల
కోట్ల
ఎన్నిసార్లు?
కోట్ల కోట్ల
ఎన్నిసార్లు?
కోట్ల కోట్ల కోట్ల
ఎన్నిసార్లు?
కోటి కోట్ల కోటి
Thank you so much for answering the number.
కోటి
ఆఖరిది కోట్ల ఉంటుంది, ఆఖరి కోట్లు అన్నది. ఇప్పుడు చెప్తాను. మళ్ళీ
కోటి
చెప్తాను.
కోట్ల 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 కోట్లు.
అది అలా చెప్పాలి. మొత్తం 6 సార్లు వచ్చాయా? అది నెంబర్. ఇప్పుడు చూసుకోండి, ఇప్పటికి ఎంత నెంబర్ అయింది? వాట్ ఇస్ ద వర్డ్ యాక్చువల్లీ హి హస్ గివెన్? దట్ ఈస్ మహాపద్మ, అఖర్వ. Now you will see much more bigger number subsequently. Okay, please get by heart. How to find out? Whatever the number of zeros are there, that 42 or whatever, that you have to divide by 7. You divide. That is the 7 table you see. Up to what that number will go. So many times you have to say koti, 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 like that. Then some other number may be remaining. Sometimes remainder may be there. That you have to say, because suppose 5 digits are there, there is a 1 lakh. Initially you have to say. Suppose 7 zeros are there, 10 lakh, quote sign, quote are. Illa chappasu. Please get by heart next time. Next number will be Mahakharva. Now I will read out that shloka also now. Please get by heart. That next shloka is Govindan sir. They are very interested.
Next శ్లోక పెట్టలేదండి, సారీ.
Okay. Okay, next time you get prepared. We'll prepare. Very nice. Now you understood the procedure? Now you can tell me how many monkeys are there in the Ramasena? How many monkeys are there in the Vanar Sena with Hanuman and other people? Can you imagine so many monkeys moving around the whole world? What is the population of the whole world today? It is about 600 crores or 700 crores. But there, the number given is 6 times you have to utter that word koti, koti, like that. Excellent. Here actually we are interested to know the mathematics part of Ramayana in this class. That is option. Okay, sir. Next topic I will take up. That is some important top aspects of Bhagavad Gita, important aspects. We know certain things. Definitely you're all great scholars. You got by heart all the 700 shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. But now I will start asking few questions. What is the age of Lord Krishna Paramatma at the time of fighting Mahabharata war? What is the age of Sri Krishna? Who can answer me? What is the age of Arjuna at the time of fighting Mahabharata war? Okay, I have not got any answer. 54 years, sir? 54. No. Okay. Next question.
89.
Amma?
89.
87. Okay, you are very near to the correct answer. Excellent.
89.
Yeah, people say 87 also is given, 89 also is given. So both are correct answers. I accept it. Who told the answer? Phalguni. Then Sri Sai Shanmukha. Kalaga. Excellent. Kartikeya Kalaga raised his hand. That is very good answer. Next question I will ask you. How many elephants participated in the Mahabharata war? How many elephants? Do you have any answer?
అంటే ఒక అక్షోణిలో చాలా చాలా ఏనుగులు ఉంటాయి అంటే ఒక అన్ని అక్షోణీలు కలిపితే
Total, both Pandava side and Kaurava side, how many elephants participated? How many horses participated? How many chariots participated? How many soldiers, ordinary soldiers, barefoot soldiers, how many people were there? Any answer? No. Wrong number. Sri Hari Shanmukha, wrong number. Sridhar, wrong number. Aditya, wrong. Shreyas, wrong number. Sirisha, wrong number. Sankalp, wrong number.
గురువు గారు నాకు వచ్చింది నేను చదువుకున్నప్పుడు ఒక అక్షోణిలో 21,870 ఎలిఫెంట్స్ ఉన్నాయని చదువుకున్నాను నేను. తర్వాత మీరు ఏం చెప్పారంటే మొదట్లో 18 అక్షోణిలు పార్టిసిపేట్ చేశాయన్నారు వారిలో. 21,870 into 18 చేస్తే నాకు 21,870 into 18 చేస్తే నాకు
ఇప్పుడు చేస్తున్నావు చెయ్యి.
నేను చేశాను కానీ మర్చిపోయాను.
పర్వాలేదు, అది చాలు. ఇంకెవరన్నా ఆన్సర్ చెప్తారా?
393,660 వచ్చింది నాకు.
That is 3,93,660 elephants. They participated in the war. Can you imagine? Approximately 4 lakh elephants. 4 lakh elephants. They are war elephants, not circus elephants. War elephants, they will be very ferocious. Whoever comes opposite them, immediately they will crush them. How much actually? Next question is, in the present day, names of the states of India, where does this Kurukshetra appear? Is it Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Bengal, Gujarat, or others?
Uttar Pradesh.
Uttar Pradesh. Any other answer? Haryana is the correct answer. Dhanvisri. Congrats, Dhanvisri. It comes under Haryana. Now my next question is, get prepared. Suppose that what will be the size of that Kurukshetra, the fighting area? Will it be 1 mile versus 1 mile? Or 5 kilometers versus 5 kilometers? Area we have to say. So 5 kilometers length and 5 kilometers breadth. Suppose you take up a square, it becomes area becomes 25 square kilometer. Can it be that much or still less? Or big?
ఏంటి గురుగారు మళ్ళీ చెప్పండి.
కురుక్షేత్రంలో పాండవులు కౌరవులు కొట్టుకున్నటువంటి ఏరియా ఎంత ఉంటుంది, ఎన్ని స్క్వేర్ కిలోమీటర్స్ ఉంటుంది సుమారుగా? గుర్తెట్టుకోండి, 4 లక్షల ఏనుగులు తిరగాలి. 4 లక్షల ఏనుగులు. ఏనుగు అంటే కనీసం 100 feet ఈజీగా వెళ్ళిపోతుంది, ఒక్క దెబ్బతో వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. ఒక్క ఊపు ఊపిందంటే వెళ్ళిపోతుంది, 100 feet వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. అలాంటి 4 లక్షల ఏనుగులు. ఏనుగు గమ్మును కుట్టుకో, అవతల శత్రుడు ఏనుగు తప్ప జనాన్ని తొక్కేస్తాయి ముందర. హర్యానా ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ ఈజ్ నాట్ సఫిషియంట్. హోల్ ఆఫ్ హర్యానా, Himachal Pradesh, Noida, all these things put together must be the area where they fought. The central place is Kurukshetra, agreed. So huge area, battlefield, they fought. Next question, important one is, how many horses approximately in the same way? How many chariots? I will give the answer. As many elephants, so many chariots. Chariots means రథాలు. ఒక్కొక్క మనకి అక్షోహిణికి 21,870 ఎలిఫెంట్స్ అనుకున్నాం, అలాగే 21,870 రథాస్, చారియట్స్. దానికి 3 times హార్సెస్. దానికి 3 times అంటే ఇందాక మనకి రథాలు ఏనుగులు మనకి 3,93,660 వచ్చి దాన్ని 3 మల్టిప్లై చేయండి. ప్లీజ్ టెల్ మీ ది ఆన్సర్. 393,660 into 3. What will be the answer? 3,93,660 into 3. The 65610. Yes, it is approximately 1180980. So many horses, 11 lakhs. Approximately 12 lakhs. Approximately 12 lakh horses. They also participated. And ordinary soldiers further again make it several times. How many times? 5 times the horses, the elephants. That is, Akshohini will have 1,09,350. So like this, actually, several lakhs of creatures, they died. Human beings died. Elephants died. Horses died. We put together all these things, how much it comes through? 30 plus 36, 36, 32, 32. 35 lakhs elephants, human horses and human beings, they died as per one calculation. Human loss, we cannot imagine. In how many days? In how many days? 18 days. Even the First World War also, so many people did not die in so many short number of days. It's much worse than the First World War or Second World War. Within 18 days, so many lakhs of people, they never killed actually. Such a bhayanaka yuddham adi. Aithe inkoka question, how much time they must have taken for preparing for going for the war field? The preparation time for reaching the battlefield, how much preparation time they got? Preparation. See, 5 days, 6 days. How many? 1 day? Wrong answer. 14 years. 14 years where? Pandavas are there, they are in the forest only, or Ajnatavasa? 1 month. Wrong. Approximately 6 months. Approximately. And here now I will ask you one question. What must be the preparations for fighting the war that are required? How much amount of grass will be required for the war field? Particular grass for feeding the elephants. How many elephants are there? How many elephants? Approximately 4 lakhs elephants. How many bags of grass each elephant can eat per day? At least 4 bags minimum. Not a lot. At least 4 bags you have to feed. Otherwise it will kill us if you don't feed properly. 4 bags of grass every elephant. So per day for 4 lakhs elephants, how much grass must be kept ready? 4 lakhs into 4, 16 lakhs bags. Bag means it's not small bag. It's full 100 kgs rice bag. 100 kgs rice bag is one bag. Like that, 16 lakhs bags must be kept prepared per day. But suppose today fighting is over, next day morning they will not go for cutting the grass. You have to keep it ready. And all the elephants, they did not die in the first day of coming to the battlefield. They stayed there for 6 months. For 6 months preparation, at least 30 days. Advanced preparation must be there. So 30 days into, that is 30 into 16 lakhs bags. You imagine. Calculate. Crores of bags of grass is required. How much a person, a labor fellow, if he put on the job of cutting the grass per day, how many bags he can cut? If grass is available everywhere, he may be able to cut maximum 3 bags or 2 bags or 3 bags. He will not be able to do more than that. Assuming that he does for 4 bags a day. Impossible. Beyond that, he cannot cut. Because his shoulders will give pain. So how many lakhs of labor must be employed just to cut the grass? Employees, just a labor. They are not the fighters. They are not the soldiers. Ordinary labor to cut the grass for feeding to the elephants. Similarly, how many chariots are required? They use chariots, about 4 lakhs chariots. Preparation of chariot will take minimum 1 week, normally. One chariot preparation will take 1 week. You have to prepare the wheels, you have to prepare the carriage, you have to assemble them. All these things will take 1 week minimum. 4 lakh chariots preparation means how much time it would have required. 4 lakh weeks, can you imagine? How many employees must be kept for the preparation of the chariots? Similarly, for horses feeding also, that we call it in Telugu as dana, eatables for the horses. How many lakhs of bags of dana must be kept ready? Just like elephants. Imagining all these things, you can imagine what is the dimension of preparation required, the size of preparation required, the number of labor to be used for different purposes. And ultimately, once the battle starts, let us say, morning they must be given some breakfast. Is not on fasting, they will not go for fighting. Breakfast for how many people? Say about 12 lakh people are there. For 12 lakh people, how many cooks must be available for preparing the breakfast? Imagine how many cooks and how a team of, say, 10 people cooks are there, 10 cooks are there, imagine. For how many people they can cater? 10 cooks at a time. They may be able to cater to maximum 1,000 people. Assuming. Not more than that. What must be size of the big vessels? పాత్రలు ఎంతంత సైజు ఉండాలి? గిన్నెలు 1000 మందికి వంట చేయాలంటే చేతులు సాచేస్తున్నావు. ఏమండి? సరిపోదు. ఇప్పుడు నేను అడిగేది క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే, సపోజ్ 1000 మందికి పెద్ద పాత్రలు 5 పాత్రలు ఉన్నాయి అనుకుందాం అమ్మ. ఇప్పుడు నాకు 12 లక్షల మందికి, ఫర్ 12 lakh people, how many vessels must be kept ready for preparing the breakfast? And more than that, all these cooks, the labor, they must be paid salaries. Free of cost, they will not work. How much salary a person must be given? Suppose in today's pricing, imagine, suppose a labor in Hyderabad, he gets 1,000 rupees per day. Now like that, 1 crore or 50 lakh workers must be preparing the ground. How many? The roads must be laid. The Ratha cannot drive by itself automatically. In the farm lands, the Rathas cannot move. So well laid out roads must be there. You can imagine the preparation, the items required for preparation and the cost of preparation. That's why, I am telling you, why I am telling today is, important message from me is, if you want to become an expert in material management, study Mahabharata war. If you want to become an expert in finance management, study Mahabharata war. If you have not studied Mahabharata war, then you cannot qualify yourself as the best finance management or best management man. Impossible. You understand the dimension of preparation required. In the lunch time again, all the soldiers must be given the lunch. How many cooks must be keeping the matter ready? You can imagine. Just imagine your thoughts, not just Arjuna and Karna fighting. It's not Bhima versus Duryodhana fighting. The background work behind the Mahabharata war. Unimaginable dimension. And this kind of preparation has never happened in the history of human history. Whole human history, this kind of dimension of preparation was never done. Not even in the First World War, nor in the Second World War. Everywhere there are isolated areas. And with modern weaponry, you can kill 1,000 people at a time. But there one person, one arrow. Maximum. How many people must be there for preparing the arrows? How many people must be there for preparing the bows? ధనుసులు తయారు చేయడానికి ఎంతమంది కావాలి? ద కత్తి విరిగిపోయిందమ్మా యుద్ధంలోకి వెళ్ళాక వాడు అవతల చంపేస్తాడు. అయితే రెండో కత్తి పట్టుకెళ్ళాలి. ఎన్ని కత్తులు కావాలి? ఎన్నాళ్ళు పడుతుంది కత్తులు తయారు చేయడానికి? ఒక రోజంతా చేస్తే ఒక్క కత్తి తయారవుతుంది మాక్సిమం. 12 లక్షల మంది వెళితే 24 లక్షల కత్తులు కావాలి. కనీసం రెండో కత్తి ఇవ్వాలి. 3 ఉంటే బెటర్. మధ్యలో విరిగిపోయింది వెంటనే అక్కడ వెల్డింగ్ చేసేవాడు ఒకటి రెడీగా ఉండాలి అక్కడ. Imagine the problems of Mahabharata war. Sir, this is a small message I wanted to convey today, sir. So please remember, you want to become, today whole world is running only for two things. Either material management expert or finance management expert using the computer technology. Ultimately, the concentration is on the materials or finance. So you want to become experts in your lifetime, you study Mahabharata war in this angle. For 6 months, solid preparation. Because there in between the Sandhi, there are 4 times of negotiation between Kauravas and Pandavas. First, the Pandavas, after coming out of Ajnatavasa, they sent a messenger to Dhritarashtra. Then again, Sanjaya came. Then again, third person, one more person also there in between. Then 4th time, Sri Krishna appeared in the field. So 4 types of negotiations were held. Messages were conveyed. All these things, they require about 5 to 6 months time. You can understand how much energy they wasted actually fighting this war, just for the blunder of Duryodhana. How many creatures were killed just because of the sin committed by Duryodhana and Karna. That is a great loss for India. Okay? Please remember, this is the essence of Mahabharata war in terms of finance and material. Okay, sir?
All of you.
How do you find it?
Yes, you. Very good, sir. So all of you participate birthday parties, right? You all remember you do birthday parties and you have some food. So imagine you called 100 people and only 50 people come. And what will you do with that 50 people? Food is left over. So imagine Mahabharata has so many lakhs of people. If the food is left out, what happens? You all know? So that 18 days, they planned the food such that not even a single plate is wasted. So how the planning also they must have done. All the food for all the soldiers, everyone. So imagine the kind of people thinking at that time. Where
And management planning.
Management, yes. Management planning.
Okay.
So another aspect of it. Eco-friendliness, wastage, all of that. Thank you, sir. So much eye-opening for all of us.
Thank you, sir. Now, Bhaskar garu.
గురువు గారు మళ్ళీ అన్ని పంటలు కూడా పండాలి చేయాలి
కదమ్మా మరి అంత గ్రాస్ ఉండాలి, పంటలు పండాలి. ఎప్పటి నుంచి వాడు కలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి?
పప్పులు కూరలు. మళ్ళీ వర్షాకాలం అంటే పాపం నీళ్ళైనా వస్తాయి, వర్షాకాలం అంటే మళ్ళీ యుద్ధం చేయలేము.
అంటే వర్షాకాలం అయిపోయి స్టార్ట్ చేశారు. ఏమన్నాడు తెలిసిన శ్రీకృష్ణుడు? ఇప్పుడు శ్రీకృష్ణుడు అంటాను యుద్ధం స్టార్ట్ చేసే ముందర రాయబారానికి వెళ్ళాడు. ఇప్పుడు దోమలు లేవు కానీ ఇప్పుడు ఫైటింగ్ చేద్దామన్నాడు. అది ఆయన అన్నమాట. After the rainy season, mosquitoes will not be there. The area will be dried up. So he said, because there will not be mosquitoes, now let us start fighting. They started fighting in the month of November. Dates are also given. Approximately it is taken as November 8th. Approximately they started. And now I am asking a final question. How many years back this Mahabharata war has happened? How many years back, approximately, or accurately?
3000 కదా 3000
ఎప్పటి నుంచి 3000?
క్రీస్తు పుస్తకం ముందు.
సో ఇప్పటికి ఎంత?
5000.
5000. మనకి ప్రతిసారి కష్టం ఉందని చెప్పి 1947 మనకి ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఇయర్. ఆ 1947 రిఫరెన్స్ గా పెట్టి అప్పటి ఎన్నేళ్ళు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసామమ్మా. ఎన్నాళ్ళని చూసినా 1947 నాటికి 5048 ఇయర్స్. ఆ తర్వాత మనం ఎన్నేళ్ళు మారినా సరే మనం యాడ్ చేసుకుంటూ ఉన్నాం. 1948 నాటికి 5048 ఇయర్స్ అయ్యాయి. అది గుర్తెట్టుకోండి. లేదా ఇప్పుడు 2021 అంటాం, మళ్ళీ నెక్స్ట్ ఇయర్ అయితే మళ్ళీ యాడ్ చేసుకుంటూ ఉండాలి. అది కన్ఫ్యూజన్ వస్తుంది. ఈ ఒక్క ఫిగర్ గుర్తెట్టుకోండి. 5048 years by the time of 1947, where India got independence. When India got independence. Okay, sir. Thank you. Balbhaskar garu.
Okay.
Now you can take over after this Mahabharata war. How do you find?
The whole battlefield is yours now.
Good morning and good evening, kids. Today we are going to discuss case 2 of Nikilam multiplication. I hope you already know this. I'm not discussing anything new. The thing is, it has 3 cases. In one case, both numbers are greater than the base number. That case 1 is covered in last session. Okay. The example is 102 into 107. Please ping me the answer. Do it and please ping me the answer. Right? Remaining people, why the delay? Only few answers very quickly. Okay. Just for your benefit, just to see the sum. Like 102, the axis here base number is, I am considering base number as 100. Nearest lower base, so base is 100. How much greater the number, how much is excess or greater than the base number, you write it this side. 102, 2, 107, 7. Any cross addition you can do. 102 plus 7 or 107 plus 2. Anything should be equal. 102 plus 7, 109. 107 plus 2, 109. In any direction you add diagonally, the both should give a same result. 102 plus 7 into base number 100 plus multiplication of complements. Okay. Then 102 plus 7, 109 into base number 100 plus 2 into 7. That means 14, 10914. This one we covered last week itself. Just I am revising the previous session content. Okay. Next case is when both numbers are less than base numbers. And both numbers are less than base number. Example 98 into 97. Here, just opposite. When numbers are greater than base number, we are taking nearest lower base. When both numbers are less than base number, nearest higher base. In this case, base will be higher than the given numbers. Higher base. Okay. Here in this example, I am taking example of 98 into 97. I am considering nearest higher base. I am considering 100 as base number. That means base is equal to 100. Now, let's see. 98. Write -2. How much deviation is there? How much difference is there? Along with that, write minus. -2. 97. -3. Now, same thing. Cross addition. 98 plus -3 or 97 plus -2. To simply remember, you can do subtraction also. 98 minus 3 or 97 minus 2. Anything is okay? 98 minus 3 I am taking into base 100 and multiplication -2 into -3 equals to 98 minus 3 is 95 into 100 plus -2 into -3 6. It is like 9500 plus 6 9506. This is the answer. Any doubts? Please ping me in chat box. Okay. Always choose the base number as close as possible. Means sometimes Aditi, I have written all the steps in last week's session. For your benefit, I am keeping this. If you don't follow 1 week, you will create a delay for others. That's why please be on time and please be regular. Okay. You can note down. Remaining people, you please do 998 into 996. You please do this. Meanwhile, I hope everyone noted 998 into 996. Please do the sum and ping me in the chat box. Meanwhile, I'll keep the other screen for Aditi.
Guru Garu,
Yes.
I didn't understand only one step in this Nikhila multiplication case 2.
Case 1 or case 2?
Case 2.
Yeah, just a second.
The first step for the base will be 198 and 97. So why did -2 and -3 came? What's the meaning of the minus?
Yeah, actually you can avoid that. Just you can simply put -2, but you need to remember here 98 -3. When the number is less than base number, remember that you have to subtract. But
Okay, sir. Thank you.
for case 3, one number will be more than base number, one number will be less than base number. In that scenario, if you don't understand here minus number, you will confuse there. That's why I want to maintain the consistency. That's why I kept them. Just keep the -2 and -3 so that you will not get any confusion in next case 3. Case 3, one number will be more than greater than base number, one number will be less than base number. At that scenario, one number will have positive difference, one number will have negative difference. So for that consistency only, I used -2 and -3. Okay, good question. Okay. Yeah. What I have given 998 into 996. Just I am doing that. 998 -2. 996 -4. If you add in any direction, that is 996 only. That means 998 -4 into 1000 base number plus -2 into -4. That means 994 000 plus 8. 994 008. That is the answer. Okay. When both numbers are positive, the differences will come. Both numbers are greater than base number, differences will come positive. When both numbers are below base number, differences will come negative numbers. And when one number is greater than base number, one number is less than base number, then one positive difference, one negative difference will come. Okay, next one. Next one, you do 8 into 7. 8 into 7, you do using Nikilam technique only. I know you people know the single digit multiplication, but I want to make you understand the Nikilam process. You know the result, learn the process. 8 into 7, you have to do using Nikilam multiplication technique. What is the base number? In this case, 8 into 7. Yeah, good. I'm not asking answer. I'm asking what is the base number in this case. Please listen my question carefully and answer it accordingly. Varunaditya, 998 into 996 -2, how I got? Here, this example I am giving, just listen carefully. What is the base number in this case? Varunaditya, please think. Yeah, 1000, right? Here, 998 minus 1000, how much? Varun, got it right? And 996 minus 1000, how much? minus 4. So like that we got the difference between the number and the base number. Okay. Hope you are clear. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All of you, have you done 8 into 7? I don't want answer. Just ping me the differences. Differences. 8 into 7 or 8 into 7. Okay. 8 into 7. Yeah. Very good. Super. Eight minus 3 minus 2 and 7 minus 3. In any direction you add, it will be 5. Base number is 10 here. Minus 2 into minus 3. 5 into 10 plus 6. 50 plus 6 equal to 56. Okay. So next one is 6 into 8 or 6 into 7 you do using the Nicola method. Using Nicola technique. Please ping me base number, what are the differences? Okay. Differences also along with the base number, differences also you can. Yeah. Very good, Krishna. Very good. You pinged the differences. I am not asking answer. I am asking what is base number, what are the differences. Okay. If you are not catching the question, means you didn't get the concept. Listen to question carefully and answer it accordingly. Yeah, very good. Now, let us move to next question. $9,989 into 9,998. What is the base number? Base number, I am asking. Base number. Yeah, good. After 1, 4 zeros. If you are putting more than 4 zeros, that means wrong. Yeah, 10,000. Not 1,000, Sri Hari. 10,000. Yeah. Okay. Now you ping me the final answer. I don't want differences. Ping me the final answer. Yeah, Falguni, correct. Yeah, Gavan, correct. Aditi, correct. Sankalp, correct. Varunadi, Aditya, correct. Sai Srujan, correct. What about the remaining people? Kameshwari, correct. Krishna, correct. Mayuk, correct. Srikruti, correct. Rishit, correct. Kenji, correct. Daksha, correct. Naga, correct. Okay, excellent. Now let us go to next problem. 9,99,996 into 9,990 9,99,994. What is the base number here? Tell me how many zeros are there after 1. After 1, how many zeros are there? Just tell me how many zeros are there. Answer to my question only. Okay, correct. Akhilesh Katamuri, correct. Mayur. Yeah. Bihari, correct, correct. Yeah. Please do and ping me the final answer. Okay. I'm doing the final answer. Any direction you add, it will give 9,99,990 into 6 zeros after 1. Will be that is the answer. 5 nines, 5 zeros, 24. See how speed you are doing with the Vedic maths techniques. Okay, very big answers, but still you are doing very quickly. Okay, any doubts in today's class? Okay, please note down the homework. That's 10 sums. If you want to copy, I'll put it in chat box. You can copy. You can copy and save it in a notepad. I kept it in a. Wait, 1 minute.
93.
33.
33 or 93.
33.
Okay. I think you can copy from chat box also.
95 messages.
హలో ఏం సార్
Guru garu.
ఇంకా చెప్తున్నారా?
లేదు అయిపోయింది గురు.
అయిపోయిందా? ఓకే ఓకే.
Okay. Okay then. Bye.
Now, you have any questions? Any doubts? I'm ready. Yes, please. Sri Kruti. Anybody?
ఇక్కడ మనము ఏదైనా ఇప్పుడు నిఖిలం చేసేటప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఒక ప్రాబ్లం తీసుకుంటాం. 7 times 8. ఇక్కడ 7 times 8 చేస్తున్నప్పుడు 8 times 7 ఇక్కడ 8 కి బేస్ నెంబర్ 10 వస్తుంది. అప్పుడు -2 8 కి -2 7 కి -3. సో అప్పుడు 5 తర్వాత 5 times 10 50 ప్లస్ 6 లేకపోతే పక్కన 6 రాసేసుకోవాలి. అది
7 times 8 is 506.
7 into 8. That means 7 means
10 minus 7.
-3.
3
And 8 means
minus 2.
base is same for both the numbers. For both numbers, common base only. Not different bases, 2 different bases. Now, do the cross addition. 7 plus -2 or 8 plus -3. Any direction diagonally. Crosswise, any direction you can do. Okay, not any straight forward. 7 plus 8 or -3 plus 2. Not like that. Cross 7 plus -2 or 8 plus -3 into base number. What is the base we have taken in this scenario? Nearest higher base is 10. -3 into -2. Srikruti, what is your doubt here?
Minus 5 into 50, 56 అవుతుంది. అంతే కదా? 7 8 are 56.
It will be 5 into 10 plus 6. 5 into 10 plus 6. That means 50 plus 6. 56. 7 8 are 56.
అర్థమైంది. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
సార్ మన పార్టిసిపెంట్స్ లో సీతం శెట్టి సుబ్బారావు గారు పేరు కనిపిస్తోంది. సార్ సుబ్బారావు గారు మీరు ఉంటే ఒక్కసారి అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి సార్. నమస్కారం సుబ్బారావు గారు.
నమస్కారం అండి. నమస్కారం.
మరి
చాలా సంతోషం.
మరి సండే ఈవినింగ్ మళ్ళీ కలిసాం అనుకోకుండా.
అంతే కానీ ఇవాళ అమావాస్య. అయ్యో ఇవాళ మొదలెట్టేనంటే అనుకుంటున్నాను సార్. ఇవాళ క్లాస్ క్యాన్సిల్ చేసేసి నెక్స్ట్ పెట్టుకుంటాం. అది బాగుందండి, చాలా బాగుంది.
ఎన్ని గంటలకు జాయిన్ అయ్యారు మీరు సుమారుగా? మీ టైం
5 నిమిషాలు లేటు అది అయ్యాను.
ఆల్మోస్ట్ మొదటి నుంచి ఉన్నారా?
మొదటి నుంచి ఉన్నా. శ్లోకాలన్నీ రాసుకున్నాను.
మహాభారతం మీద నా విశ్లేషణ చూసారా?
చూశాను. తర్వాత మాట్లాడుకునేదేమో డేట్ది. డేట్ కొంచెం 5,000 అన్నది నాకు పెద్ద కాంట్రవర్సీ. అది
అవునండి,
అది కొంచెం మనం డీటెయిల్ గా చదువుదాం. అది
సెపరేట్ టాపిక్. అది కాన్సెప్చువల్ గా అసలు హౌ మచ్ ప్రిపరేషన్ చేయమంటావు?
అవునవును, అది చాలా బాగా చెప్పారు. మెటీరియల్ మేనేజ్మెంట్, ఫైనాన్స్, ఆ రెండే నేను కూడా ఇంజనీర్ అయినా అందులోనే ఉంటాను ఇప్పుడు.
అల్టిమేట్లీ అందులోకి పెడతామండి. ఏ సబ్జెక్ట్ నుంచి అక్కడికే వస్తుంది అది.
అంతే, ఇడ్లీ కొట్టు పెట్టుకున్నా, పెద్ద ఫ్యాక్టరీ నడిపినా అదే పాయింట్.
అక్కడికే వస్తుంది. అందుకోసమని సార్ శ్రీ ఎన్కే పాఠక్ గారు, కెన్ యూ ప్లీజ్ అన్మ్యూట్? ఇలాగా మొత్తం మనం వీఆర్ టీచింగ్ అంటే తెలుగులో చెప్పుకున్నా కానీ చాలా మంది ఈ వేదిక మ్యాథమెటిక్స్ పిల్లలు మంచి ఎంత చాకులో ఉన్నారంటే కత్తులా తయారవుతున్నారండి వీళ్ళందరూ కూడా. చాలా షార్ప్, చాలా షార్ప్. వీళ్ళకి మనం తయారు చేయాలంటే మందే ఆలస్యం. అలా ఉంటుంది. బాగుంది సార్. ఇంకా కంటిన్యూ చేద్దాం. ఇంకా ఉందా?
అంతేనండి.
పిల్లలు ఎవరికైనా డౌట్స్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా? ఇంకా ఎవరికైనా సరే?
గురుగారు మీరు ఇవాళ మ్యాథమెటిక్స్ లో చెప్పేశారు కదా,
మ్యాథ్స్ చెప్పాను.
గురుగారు
చెప్పమ్మా.
నాకు కొన్ని క్లాసుల నుంచి ఒక్క మాత్రం అర్థం అవట్లేదు. నాకేమో నన్ను ఎవరు అన్ని చేయడం వల్ల అడగలేకపోతున్నాను. నా డౌట్
అన్ని అడగమని నీ ఇష్టం ఎన్ని
పద్మ వృంద అనేది చెప్పారు కదా, ఆ టాపిక్ నాకు అసలు అర్థం కాలేదు ఫస్ట్ నుంచి.
అలాగా. నువ్వు ఎన్నో క్లాస్ చదువుతున్నావు?
5th.
మరి కోటి అంటే తెలుసునా నీకు? ఎన్ని సున్నాలు వేసుకోవాలో
తెలుసు. 7.
ఇప్పుడు నెంబర్స్ ఇస్తే నువ్వు సాయి సృజన్ చెప్తున్నా లేదా పాల్గొని డౌట్ ఎవరికి?
సాయి సృజన్. ఓకే.
నువ్వు నెంబర్స్ ఎలాగ కామాలు పెట్టుకోవడం చేస్తున్నావునా? పెద్ద పెద్ద నెంబర్లు ఇస్తే కామాలు పెట్టుకోవడం తెలుసునా నీకు? అంటే 1s ప్లేసు, 10s ప్లేసు, 100s ప్లేసు కామా పెడతాం కదా. అలాగా క్రోర్ దాకా అయిన తర్వాత ఎవ్రీ 7 zeros కి ఒక్కొక్క కామా పెట్టుకుంటూ ఉండు లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ కి. 32 zeros ఉన్నాయనుకో, 1 వేసి 32, ఇవాళ 42 zeros వచ్చాయి మనకి. అవునా కదా? పద్మ అంటే 1 followed by 42 zeros. నువ్వు రైట్ సైడ్ నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేయి. 1s ప్లేసు, 10s ప్లేసు, 100s ప్లేస్ తర్వాత కామా, 1000s ప్లేసు, 10,000s అయిన తర్వాత కామా, తర్వాత lakhs, 10 lakhs అయిన తర్వాత కామా. అప్పటికి క్రోర్స్ అయ్యాయి. అక్కడి నుంచి 7 zeros లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ కి ఓ కామా పెట్టుకుంటూ వెళ్ళు. పెట్టుకోగలవా? పెట్టుకోలేవా? అప్పుడు లెఫ్ట్ నుంచి ఎంత నెంబర్ వస్తుందో చూడు. అది మొట్టమొదటి చదవాలి. లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ నుంచి చదవడం ప్రారంభించాలి. ఈవేళ మనకి 42 అంటే ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ 7 zeros వచ్చేసాయి. ఒకసారి రావు, ఓ 0 రావచ్చు, 2 zeros రావచ్చు, 3 zeros రావచ్చు, 4 రావచ్చు, 5 రావచ్చు, 6 రావచ్చు, 7 కూడా రావచ్చు. 7 వచ్చేసింది. నెక్స్ట్ టైం వచ్చింది అనుకో 49 అవుతుంది, 47 అవుతుంది నెక్స్ట్ టైం. అప్పుడు లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ నెంబర్ సపోజ్ 42 వచ్చింది అనుకో, అంటే కోటి. తర్వాత అలా ఎన్నిసార్లు కోట్లునే లెక్కెట్టుకోవాలి. కోటి, కోట్ల, 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 కోట్లు అలాగా. ఓకే, ట్రై చేయి.
ధన్యవాదాలు గురుగారు.
ఓకేనమ్మా. నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ మళ్ళీ నన్ను ఇదే టాపిక్ మీద జ్ఞాపకం ఉంచుని అడుగు, నీకు అర్థం అవ్వకపోతే. ఇంకెవరికైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా?
ఎన్కే పాఠక్ గారు, యు ఆర్ అన్మ్యూటెడ్. యు వాంట్ టు సే సంథింగ్?
సార్ పాఠక్ గారు, ఈజ్ అవైలబుల్?
He is unmuted.
Is he available?
Can you speak up, sir? We cannot hear you, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Any doubts for any other persons? No doubts? Then we'll have Kayena Vacha. Then let us recite. Om Kayena Vacha Manasendriyaiva Buddhyatmana va Pravate Swabhavat Karomi Yajyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanaayeti Samarpayami. Hari Om Tat Sat Brahma Arpanastu. Sri Sitaram Arpanastu.